Peace and blessings, y'all. This your boy, Rashone, aka Looker, and we are Space Invaders TV. You heard? Man, I hope everybody's keeping their head above the water and staying sane in these crazy times, man, in this crazy year, I should say, man. If this your first time to the page or not, make sure y'all hit the subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, man. So every time I, post up here, y'all get it in your email. They send y'all the alert and let you know Space Invaders has uploaded a new show, which I try to do every week. Between Wednesdays and Thursdays, no later than Saturday, I try to post a new show or topic, I should say, a new video or what have you, however you want to call it, a vlog or whatever. Today is October 22nd, 2020, Thursday, October 22nd, 2020, man. And some things I want to talk about today, man. And one of the things I want to bring to y'all today is the Electoral College. And because for so long we have so many of our people consistently, we have our people, when I say I'm talking to our black people right now, we have so many of our people I'm hearing, especially lately, man. And right now, it's getting closer to election, and so we seeing all this on TV now. Everybody, they all got these ads running, and they're taking these cheap shots, and it's whack. The people don't really care about that, man. People want to know what you actually gonna do. You taking shots at this person, that is old ways of politics, man. It's about taking care, and that's what lets me know when when I see these politicians doing these ads and things of that nature, and they're taking shots at the other candidate. That lets me know right there that you out of touch. Because what's going on right now, people could care less about what you fight. You taking jabs at somebody. People that are really just trying to, like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna bring peace to the country? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to direct the country? Okay? How are you going to represent the country? How are you going to uphold the laws of this country? That's what the people want to know. When are they going to be able to get back to work? What is up with this coronavirus? People don't want to hear this taking jabs no more. That is old politics, man. And that's what let me know when these politicians are like, you're outdated, bro. And that's the problem we have anyway. The problem I see is there's a lot of old politicians in Senate, Judicial, and politics, period. From the three branches, from executive, legislation, and judicial, we have old thoughts in there. This is a new day, and we have these people in there. They're behind the time, man, and they call themselves speaking for the American people. And if you were speaking for the American people want assistance right now. American people have been paying tax dollars for years, and y'all sitting on y'all hands still arguing back and forth across the floor about what? But you claiming that you speaking for the American people. No, you're not. Both parties just do what's right for the people. Y'all both been appointed, regardless of however. Y'all both, you people, y'all and these politicians, I think they forgot. And I think we as people forgot too. We lost the way too, that these people work for us. They are public servants. They signed up for that. We don't work for them. They work for us. But they try to make this voting process as if they're doing us a favor or something. You know what I'm saying? Like as if we need to be working for them. No, you need to be working for the people. As hard as y'all work, as hard as y'all want people, and fast as y'all want people to walk out and go vote for you, as fast as you need to be making laws and putting things into place. But you want people to vote for you and you want people to move for you. Move for the people. That's it. I don't care what side you on, Republican or Democrat. Right now, this is a crisis. We have a pandemic. Move for the people. But today I come to talk to y'all about the Electoral College, and to get back to what I was saying about our people. Our people, my black people, we have our people leading us, but they want to speak for us, but not speak to us. You understand what I'm saying when I'm saying that? They want to speak for us, but not speak to us. You can't say vote, 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 and you want to be on the front line talking about it all on the television or all on social media talking about we need to get out there and vote, and y'all need to vote. We need to do this. We need to get this guy out of there. But when you say that, you still understand that today you still have ones that don't understand the voting process. You still have ones that don't even want to vote at all. They don't see no change in it. You have to explain why. Some people just don't want to waste their time with it no more at all. They probably were voting and then don't want to waste their time. So when you say vote, 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 it's bigger than that. And then when you say vote, you throwing shots at the people and saying, because y'all not voting and that's why these people. Well, if you're going to speak for the people and not speak to the people, that's what the problem we have. Because for so long we had people speaking for we had leaders speaking for our people, but not speaking to the people. And I'll go back to 1870 when we were able to vote. The black man was first able to vote in 1870, and let me go through my things, y'all, because in 1870, after the Civil War, the black man was allowed to vote. The women were, I'm trying to look at the actual date, and I ain't cut my computer on, so I don't want to sit here and take up that time for that. Yeah. So it wasn't until 1920, August 18th, 1920, when the women were allowed to vote. Okay? So you figure that out how many years later after the black man was allowed to vote after the Civil War, 1870. Women, period, weren't allowed to vote until, and weren't respected on that level until 1920, August 18th, 1920 to be exact. So we've been fighting to vote ever since that time, fighting for our rights, fighting, going through the whole civil rights era, just fighting for our rights. You know what I'm saying? Fighting to be heard and fighting to be treated equal. Somewhere in that it got lost. I'm not saying it never was passed down about the voting and how it should go and who we should be focusing our attention to. I'm never saying that it never was told. I don't know that part. But what I do know now as a grown man, what I do know and notice is for so many years, all I've heard was vote, vote, vote. And I'm not knocking none of my people, none of my elders before me, or none of my elders, period. But for so many years, I heard vote, vote, vote. But I never heard about the Electoral College thing until many, many years later, you know. But you hear vote, vote, vote. So everybody's focused their attention on the presidency. And then when you have people in our community in the black neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? They're like, man, fuck that president. I ain't voting for that president. That motherfucker ain't done shit for us. When actually, there never was the president to do anything for you. It was the freaking senators. The senators passed legislation, and it gets signed off by the judges, the judicial system, the courts, the Supreme Courts, and all of that. It gets signed off. The senators pass legislation, they push it over, they sign it off. The judges sign it off as law. Bang, that's law. That's what it is. And so then we see where certain money get allocated to certain places in our state, and we have suburbs, and then we have the hood. There's a separation right there. You know what I'm saying? And you see the suburbs looking nice. You see the hood looking high looking. The hood just get the crumbs from whatever money the state gained. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever money the states got from from Washington, you know what I'm saying? Your hoods get crumbs. You feel me? But the suburbs, they get all the nice things. They mayors make sure everything gets stuff. They're chilling with the governor, playing golf, eating dinner with the governor at the governor's mansion. So they making sure they town getting taken care of. Meanwhile, in the black neighborhoods and the Latino, you know what I'm saying? We getting treated like shit because we have our people, our mayors or our mayors and representatives of different wards. They just not, things just not happening. So, but it's never put like the senators are the ones that they control. They pass laws. They sign off on the monies. They got control of the money. They are the ones who's moving this. They making the calls for the country, man. The president just there, man, playing. He's presiding over. He don't have no control of that. So, but our people are still speaking for us, but not speaking to us. And it's all because of history somewhere. I don't know where. All I know is when I think back as a young buck, and when I started to hear and understand, I wouldn't say understand, but start hearing about voting, the voting process, it was just vote, vote, vote. And get for the president and get this president out. It's always been about that. Never heard about just voting on a local level like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the change come from. So when you grow up and then you're hearing to get the president out of there, the president ain't do nothing for us. He don't do this, that, and the third. So you thinking like, damn, so the president, this guy, he ain't doing shit for my city. He ain't doing shit. And it ain't him. It's your mayor it's your city council members. It's your governor. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Those are the people. It's your senators. You know what I'm saying? For your state. Each state gets 2 representatives in the House. Each state gets 2 senators. I should say, excuse me. Each state gets 2 senators in the House. You get representatives. The House reps. That goes on. That goes by the population of your state. So, for instance, California has 55 total reps in the House because of their states, the amount of people, the numbers they have in their state. And then that's why the census comes into play. And if you, this past year so far, you heard a lot about the census more because the census, a lot of things people, the speculations and everything about the census. But one thing, the census also allows them to see how many people you have in your state as well. That also lets them know. So the more people you have in your state, the more representatives you can get in the House. So, you know what I mean? Like that number, it could be whatever. Like I said, California has actually 53 representatives, and then you add the 2 senators. So that's what they have in the House. You feel me? That's who they have in the Senate, I should say. They have 55 people representing them, and they have the most of anybody. You could Google that and look. I'll break it down as we go along. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm getting into today. I'm going to talk about the Electoral College. The Electoral College is made up of 435 representatives, right? 100 senators. And then you get 3 electors from Washington, D.C. That totals out to 538 electors that make the Electoral College. Now, when a president runs, they can't get 269 and a half. They got to get 270 votes. That's half. They have to get half and some of the Electoral College. They have to gain at least 270 votes from the Electoral College. And I said how many electors it is in the Electoral College is 538. That's making up every state around this country. Okay? This was put into Constitution, Article 2, Section 1, Clause 2. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it's always been. I don't know why they don't really go into that when you do your research. But it's 538 electors. Each presidential candidate, not each, but the presidential candidate has to get 270 votes. If it's ever been a tie, I think it may have been years ago. It was a tie, and then it has to get into something else. How I think the representatives have to vote if it ever became where it was a tie, but that's rarely happened. So, and it don't matter. You can get a popular vote, and you could get the popular vote. That don't mean nothing. If you ain't get them 270, you out of here. And I'm gonna tell you how, you know what I'm saying? So that's how that works. So I'm trying to make sure I don't lose my spot, y'all. I'm trying to go down the line. So you have you have 55, just say for instance, okay, all right, I'm going to use North Carolina. North Carolina has 15 electorals, 2 senators and 13 representatives in the House, okay? So if this whole state is classified as a Republican state, right? So if the president, if you go, everybody go vote and Biden wins North Carolina, he gets more votes out of North Carolina, then guess what? Then North Carolina becomes, if it's a Republican state, it will be a Democratic state now for the next 4 years because a Democrat won the state. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. And when he wins this state, that means he won all the electorals for that state. He gets all of them. So Trump, he wouldn't be able to get that. He lost the state. He didn't win the votes of this state. And let's be clear here. All 15 of those electorals, they have to vote too. So they vote as well. So if they vote and they vote in favor of Trump, it leans towards Biden, then guess what? He gets it. But they may not vote for Biden and vote for Trump. So then Trump may win. That's how it goes. And Trump may get all the electoral votes. You know what I'm saying? So they still have to put their vote in too. That's how the Electoral College work. And and it goes on and on for each state. Like Florida. Florida has 2 senators. Everybody gets 2 senators. Just know that. So whatever number I give you, just take two away from that. You know what I'm saying? So Florida has, let's just say, I ain't gonna just say this is true. Florida has 29 electorals. Okay? So remember, take 2 away. That's 2 senators included in that, I should say. Sorry. So that makes up 29. They got 27 representatives, 2 senators. That makes 29 electorals. Now, Florida's been known as a swing state, meaning they could go left or right. They could go for the Dems or go for Republicans. If Trump won Florida, that means he got all 29 electorals. And that's how this goes on and on. And each, as they could go around and they collecting, you going to vote. You going out and vote, then the college goes to vote. The people may vote and say, yeah, now they may get enough people and say that they voted for Trump or whatever. But the Electoral College got to put their vote in. And then when they put theirs in, it might go and they might lean more towards Biden. And then Biden might win Florida in that manner. You know what I'm saying? So it just never knows. You know what I mean? You just never know. But know one thing for sure. That's how it goes. When they say he won the state, that means they say, oh, the president won that state. That's not saying they're not counting each and every one of our votes. They're counting how many representatives the electorals. So just punch in how many electors you have for your state. I could tell you Texas has 38. That's including 2 senators. New Jersey has 14. That's including 2 senators. Okay. Georgia has 16. New Hampshire has 4. They have a low number. I think New Hampshire and Maine be having they the lowest of them all. Washington State has 12. Michigan has 16. New York has 29. This is all facts. You can go to GovTrack, GovTrack.us, and you'll see what I'm telling you, the breakdown on how that actually works, y'all. And that's how that goes, man. So the Electoral College, we always have ones keep saying vote, 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 but we've been, us black people, black man was able to vote first in 1870 after the Civil War. It wasn't until what I would say 50 years later, but if I'm cool, till 1920 is when the women were allowed to vote. Women weren't never even allowed to vote. Let's just be clear on that. You know what I'm saying? And so after the Civil War, that's when the black man was able to vote. You know, and so we've been fighting this fight, and then the civil rights era, we were just fighting, and somewhere, I don't know when, but I know from my time, it got lost of, this is what we vote in. This is how we vote. When we vote, we need to pick these people. We need to pay attention to your local level. We need to pay attention to then we pay attention to the upper level, which is the president and everything like that. That got lost. That wasn't put out there. That knowledge wasn't made widespread within the black community, you know, because it always stayed focused on the president. So within that fight, it got lost. But everybody kept saying, vote, vote, vote. We got to vote for the president. The president ain't the one that's controlling anything in your neighborhood. It's your local government. It's your senators. If your state is certain things with your state and laws with your state, it's your senators claiming to uphold a law for your state. And until we say otherwise, like, oh, I don't like this. But if we see things wrong in our state or even in our city, we need to present it to our local government, and so it can get on a docket, get on, it could be in legislation, because once it gets there, then it gets signed off by the judges, the judicial system. It's the executive level, legislation, the judicial system. That's how it works. It's 3 branches of government, man, and that's it. You know what I mean? And that's it. But see, these things are ain't taught us, so I guess our people want to speak for our people, but not speaking to our people. But then they'll say, oh, well, they should know that. No, how you going to speak to the people? Anytime you going to handle business, and if you're going to speak for your people, you got to go talk to your people first. Like, hey, look, all right, what we going to do? What's the plan? Just go up there speaking, and then you want to say you speaking for the people. You're not speaking for us if you ain't speaking to us. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just not. Now, you need to make sure if you're going to speak for the people, make sure they're aligned with the proper armor that they need, aligned with the proper knowledge that they need. You know what I'm saying? Before you go speaking, see, if it was enough of the people that's the amount of people we got speaking should have been the same people teaching. You understand me? And then you can say what you want to say later on when they say, oh, y'all ain't vote. Y'all need to get out there and vote. How you going to say that? I know how you going to say that, because you ain't got much knowledge either. All you know is the same thing. Go vote, vote, vote. Do you understand how the Electoral College works? If you're dead and you ain't shared with the people, then how you leading? You got to speak to the people before you speak for the people. That's all I'm saying. And I'm about to each one teach one. And that's what I come today, man, to just talk to y'all, because I just been getting so irritated with just been for so many years hearing that. And I'm not knocking my elders or anyone, you know what I'm saying, and any of our ancestors and our forefathers before us that marched and shed and wound up having to shed blood. And I say had to shed blood because they didn't go out there wanting to and knew that they were going to die. They didn't die, like go out knowing, like, I'm going to die. No. They went to fight for our rights and died in the process. They went and fought for our rights and got beat in a process. They stood up for something. You know what I'm saying? And it is in respect to our ancestors and forefathers, our civil rights leaders of those eras of the 60s and 50s. In respect to them, we should vote. We should exercise that right and do our knowledge. And if we're going to speak to the people, if we're going to speak for the people, we got to speak to the people. That's just that. That's just that. If we're going to speak for the people, you need to speak to the people and stop perpetrating and saying, yeah, this is what the people want. Who you speaking to? We ain't talking about just speaking to your people that live on your block or your circle, your small circle. How you speaking for the people? Are you taking a poll somewhere? Like, and if you are, I ain't never seen it. But you people can't speak for you can't speak for us if you're not speaking to us. And that even goes for the Senate. You know, right now they going back and forth. That's who passing the bill. Who you think? How you think the people getting this got extra? You know, the for food, the bill for your housing, to stay in your homes and everything like that. Legislation, that stimulus package was the legislation. It was not the president. It was not the president. He don't have that power. Why you think he's sitting back on his hand? He can't do nothing about that. They going back and forth, and the problem with that is, with the Senate, we need young, fresh minds in there. These people are from an older time. These people are in their freaking 70s. And I'm not knocking nobody in their 70s, but I'm saying the ideologies that they going off of is something from 50 years ago, bro. And it was jacked up then. Times has definitely changed since then, and they're still, and if you got both parties in there fighting for something and saying, and at the same time trying to use the people in vain and saying, oh, the people won. How you know the people won when not there? None of y'all never talk. The closest y'all getting to the public is talking to maybe your kids' friends. How is you talking for the people and ain't never talked to the people? You understand what I'm saying? So you can't speak for the people if you ain't talking to the people. And then if you're not recognizing the true issue that's going on, that's when you know you're really out of tune. So right now, even when you just look at the presidency, the president is nothing more than, you know, some people say pawn, some people, he's just presiding over the country. He has power to do things, but he don't have power. He can make suggestions when it comes to the money and everything like that. But when it comes to actually planning that and writing this stuff out, he ain't got no control over when to release that money. It's the Senate, it's the House. It's the House. They say when it comes to arms for the military and all of that, they write that out. He don't have control of none of that. So what I'm saying to y'all is, man, it's not about the president. Yes, you have to get the president out here. You need somebody that's going to lead. You need somebody that's going to be able to speak to the people, or you know what I'm saying, or speak for the people. You know what I'm saying, uphold the values of the country and be respectable to all and be able to keep peace across the borders and everything like that. Be diplomatic. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need in a president. You know what I'm saying? He is to be the face for the country. But the people behind the scenes behind him are the Senate, the judicial system. Because the judicial signing off on whatever the legislation say, that's law. Bam. So, for instance, they put in a law, okay, we're going to give up this PPP money, Paycheck Protection Program money. Okay, so within that, if you was found lying, guess what? You're going to jail. So that was signed. That was put into the law. That's the law. When they passed that, that was law. Just signed off on it. Okay, that's what's happening. So with and so I get back that I got off subject. I got off track a little bit. The Electoral College is nothing more than, yeah, you going to vote for your party if you're a Republican and this person's a Democrat, and you know what I'm saying, you going and you fighting to get the garner the votes for your party in hopes that like for instance, like I said, New Jersey got 14 electorals. All right, so say Biden gonna come through, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm just off top from what I see. I already know the North not messing with Trump. So automatically Biden, he wins New York. New York has 29. New Jersey has 14. He come through. He win Jersey. That means he won all 14 of those electorals, counting towards his 270, because they're trying to add up and get all the electorals to get 270. Okay, and that's just how that goes. So that's what they're doing. They're trying to win your state, the electorals for your state. You know what I mean? So you can't split the electorals. So if you got 14, okay, well, he just won he won 8 of them, and then the other one, no. You win all of them. So if I'm a Republican and you're a Democrat, if I won your state and your state has 29, that if I'm gonna win all of those 29, you don't get none of that. You might have had some votes there, but you ain't gonna win none of that, because then you still have to remember that the electors for your state gonna have to vote too. The Electoral College has to vote too. They're still citizens too, so they each have to vote. It's 538 electors total for the country. They each have to vote. You know what I'm saying? They still citizens. They each have to vote. So when they put their votes in, then you know what I mean. That's what sways it. You know what I mean? That's what. So, hey, you know that's just how that works. It seems kind of confusing, but it's not. It's really not when you look at it. You know what I'm saying? You put your vote in for your party. If your party wins that state, you know what I'm saying? That means whatever the electors you had, 13 electors, they're gonna get them whole 13 and move on. So if your state was known as Republican state and a Democrat won your state, then you're Democrat now for the next 4 years. Your state is known as a Democratic state. That's what they're gonna recognize it as. Next election season. That's what they're gonna recognize it as, and you know. That's how they do it. This is facts. I'm not making this stuff up. You know what I'm saying? You can go to track.org. GovTrack. GovTrack.us. I'm sorry, I kept saying org. You can go to constitutionamerica.org. Constitutionamerica.org. And you can get that on Article 2, Section 1, Clause 2, when they put that Electoral College into play. Because my thing is, I just feel compelled to talk about this thing, man, because we got so many people speaking for our people, and I'm going to say that again. They speaking for our people, but don't speak to our people. And we have to put a stop to that, especially if we already got enough of trying to get it in order with the Senate and the House of Representatives trying to claim that they speak for the people. If they spoke for the people, even with right now in this time, whether Republican or Democrat, they'll just come to the table and pass a new stimulus bill, because that's what's needed. But see, they playing a political game, and I know that they're waiting to after this presidential race to make their move. That's all. That's all. They all playing the game, their own interest. And that's what I'm saying. Them old political ways is done. People want to know, what are you going to do for them? And that's why I'm saying, for everyone, you have to pay attention on the local level. If you want real change, we have to all pay attention to the local level. We have to pay attention to these senators we put in place. Every state, this one just says for North Carolina, it's in North Carolina's voting guard. But every state has their voting guide. Pay attention to it, man. Open it and read it and see who's running for one in your state. That's all I'm saying. Pay attention to who's running for senator. Read what their plans are. Google them and see what they've done and what they're about. You know what I'm saying? Some of them got websites. Go and look this stuff up and look these people up. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard. Today you have access. We walk around with computers in our pocket, these cell phones. We have access to, people walk around with iPads all day. You have laptop computers. We have technology at our fingertips. All we have to do is type and it'll come right up. Google is your friend. It's so crazy. You ain't even got to type no more. You could just talk. Ask Siri. Ask Google. It's going to tell you. And it's going to speak back to you. It's going to talk back and give you the answer. You ain't even got to type no more. Look how crazy is that? You know what I'm saying? We went from having to go to the library to get knowledge to it coming through on a computer, you typing it up on a computer, to actually you can get a book and read it on the computer, to now you can actually, your phone, you can actually take your phone to where now you can use it typing it on your phone. Now you can go on the phone and just say Siri or say Google, whatever you're looking for. You see how crazy we're walking around with knowledge at our fingertips, so it's no longer, you know what I'm saying, where we have to be waiting and we can fact check everybody. Heck, you fact check me. I'm telling you where I'm getting my information from. Anytime I tell y'all something, I tell y'all where to get it from. I write down everything. I don't just make this stuff up, y'all. I write before. That's why I come to y'all once a week. Everything I want to talk about with y'all, I do my research, make sure I got my stuff done right. And I may be off sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm not, my word not Bible, but I try to make sure I'm giving you close to the facts because I'm talking to the people. I don't care. I don't need thousands and millions of people. If I got 10 people, I don't know how many people watch this video, but I'm talking to y'all and I'm making sure I'm bringing y'all the more factual, the most factual information on the subject or topic I'm speaking about as I can. And respectfully doing that. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it's about, man. When it comes to electoral votes, well, as you'll see in this election, when you see on election night, they'll have up there 538 electors. And you know, from what I just told you, if you don't Google this yourself and try to and get more understanding, which I encourage you to do so you can understand more what I'm saying if you don't understand it now. Total, you have 538 electors. It is broken down like this. You have 435 House of Representatives. The House of Representatives are from each state. Now, your representatives can inflate. You know what I'm saying? Or it can go up or go down. You can get more House of Representatives. Like I said, California has the most of anybody. They have 53 House of Representatives. You know what I'm saying? Because the size of their state, the bigger your state, the more House reps you'll get, better leverage for you, and more things getting done for your state. You know what I'm saying? How they view it and how it can actually be. If you appointing the right House reps in there, the senators actually be there. They passing. You got 100 senators total. You get 2, no matter the size of your state. Every state only gets 2 senators. Then they use 3 electors from Washington, D.C. That totals out to 538. The president has to get more than the candidate. The presidential candidate has to get more than half of that 538. So the number they said that's more than half of that 538 is 270 electoral college votes. So when they come through your city, when they come through your state, I'm sorry, folks, when they come through your state, if your state has 15 electors, meaning you got 13 representatives with 2 senators, that totals you have 15 electors. If that candidate wins your state, he gets all of those electors. They keep going until they go around until they can get. They go around until they can get. Sorry about that. They go around until they get the 270. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes they always shooting for Cali, Florida, Texas. You know, they go through them southern states. Georgia, I think, has 16 total Let me go through. I don't want to say think because I got it written down. Texas has 38 electorals total. Florida has 29 electorals. NC has 15. California has 55. New Jersey has 14. New York has 29. Georgia has 16. New Hampshire only has 4. New Hampshire and Maine has the least. I think they have the. I didn't look at Maine's, but New Hampshire they have 4 electorals. Yeah, they just have 2 senators and 2 House of Representatives, and they have 2 representatives in the Senate. Washington State has 12 electorals total. Michigan has 16. So yeah, Michigan and Georgia have the same amount of electorals. So that's how that works, man. So when they come through each state, so if your state was a Democratic state, but the Republicans won your state becomes a Republican state now for the next 4 years. That's how they look at it. You know what I mean? So your vote does count, and then that's why they do the census. The census, that helps to tell how many people are in your state, along with a lot of other things. How all the other myths and things that people say about the census. But for one thing, that tells how many people are in your state. That's how they get to know how many people that at that year and time are in your state. And they take that number. And see, that number helps with how many more House of Reps you get. Because say they come, say your state, I'm just making up a number, y'all. Say your state had the last 10 years ago when they checked, you had 6 million people, right? So you might have had 6 million people, and then you might have only had they don't even give you a number to how many more people you can have to get more representatives. They don't actually ever tell you that. So I'm just giving you an example, right? Say they came through 10 years ago, and you had the census said you had 6.5 million residents in your state. So then they come back 10 years later, you know what I'm saying? And now you got 8 million people in your state now. So now I don't know how many representatives you will get for that. You know what I mean? They never tell you really how that breakdown goes in your research. Maybe someone might find it. If you do, drop it in my comments. But so then I would figure you'll at least get one more House of Representative. You know, if I know you at least have to get one more if your state moved from 6 million people to 8 million now. I would at least think you would have to get one more House of Rep added on into to represent your state. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how that goes, man. So that census does work for that, and that's what that's about, and they break that down about the census, and that's what it's really about. So again, that was something that I never really known that the census do. I knew the census counted how many people you had in your state or whatever, or your city. I didn't know it had anything that it really counted. You know what I'm saying? See, these are things that we never got into politics. Like black people, is always about the fight. It was a fight to get our rights to vote, to have our rights to the same wages, to be treated fair. We were always fighting. So in the midst of that fight, it got lost of what we are to do when we win this fight. So when we gained our rights to vote, what are we to do when we get this? Now, I'm not saying that our forefathers, you know what I'm saying, they didn't. Our forefathers, meaning in the black community, when we gained our rights to vote, I'm not saying that they never had this conversation and they never spewed it amongst the rest of our people. I'm not saying that they did. I don't know if they did or not. I would presume that they did because they were fighting for the cause. But somewhere it got lost, where it stopped being passed on. It got lost in the fight. That's all I'm saying. Because you even see it today that it got lost, because our people still keep telling our people, vote, 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 vote. But nobody's saying, hey man, when you vote, this is how this works. You heard about the Electoral College, this is what happens with that. And then that's that. But yeah, the president is that. But the president ain't the reason why you got that's going on in your city, man. Listen here. You got to pay attention to the to your mayor and them. Pay attention to your city council members. You need to be pushing up on them. Hey, pay attention to your governor. Pay attention to your senators. Push to them when you got issues. These are the people you need to be hollering at about things, man. Your city council members need to holler at the mayor. Need to holler at the governor. Need to holler at the senator. Because the senators really, when they really want to get the Senate, because when you get the Senate, they're gonna make it law. They're gonna pass it. They're gonna pass the legislation. Legislation gonna get signed off by the judicial system, by the judge in the Supreme Court. When they sign that off, that's law. That's how we gain our rights to vote. Okay? Like I said, the black man gained the right to vote in 1870 after the Civil War. I think it took about 50 years later, from 1870 to 1920, that's when women were allowed to vote. Okay? Didn't matter, black, white, that women weren't allowed to vote. But in 1920, August 18th, 1920, women began their rights to vote. So it was a constant fight ever since then. So our people, as I say, obviously our people don't know. But I'm telling y'all now. So it's like you can't speak for the people if you're not speaking to the people. That's all I'm saying. You have to speak to the people before you go speak to them. That's just like any sports. Football, that's making an example. And even basketball. When they want to set a play, first of all, they practice. They practicing things. They talking to each other. When they get in the game, they huddled up. When they see something going wrong, they get with the people. Hey, man, look, this was going on. So if you see something is wrong and you trying to speak for the people and you thinking that the people ain't voting and y'all keep saying, y'all need to get out there and vote. Y'all ain't vote. How you know? The problem could be we need to pay. They got to tell the people, pay attention to your senators, because you might have more Republican senators in your state. So you might have more Republican senators repping in your more Republicans in the House, and more Republican electors, I should say. So if you got 15 electors, you might have 10 of them electors may be a Republican. So they overrule, you know what I'm saying? So your state may be a Republican state, man. Hey, y'all need to pay attention more to that, man. Y'all need to vote more. Pay attention on the local level, man. Pay attention to y'all senators. Pay attention to y'all House reps. You know what I'm saying? If you Democrat, you want to see more Dems in there, y'all need to pay attention. Don't sleep on that. That could be the help right there. So this go deeper than go vote, vote, vote. Everybody saying vote, vote, vote. Oh, it's your right to vote. Our people died for it. Our people did not die for us to vote. They fought for our rights to vote. They fought for their rights to vote, which was for all of us. Okay? They died in the process. They didn't expect that. But they were fighting for something. They were fighting for our rights to be treated fair and equal. And justice. Okay? But they got lost. To pay attention to the justice system. It got lost in the fight. Not blaming our people. We were just focusing on the fight and trying to stay alive. It got lost. So, but now we have to take the time and somebody has to tell the people, instead of keep saying the same old thing, go vote, vote, vote. But that lets me know when I keep saying, especially when I talk and I see a lot of these celebrities keep talking about vote, it allows, when I see more of them saying that, they vote, 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 and not saying nothing else, that lets me further know you don't know how this thing work neither. You know what I'm saying? You ain't doing your research neither. You ain't done yours neither, but you speaking for the people, but not to the people. I'm going to end this, but it's coming. I said this before, I'm going to say it again. It's coming. They got to know they want to speak for the people, but not to the people. You could go to the social media and send them a message and say, and big them up. You can even big them up and they won't even speak to you. But when you call yourself speaking for the people, you can't even say hello back to the people that helped you get where you at. But you call yourself speaking for the people? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. A lot of people are doing things for their own. Like I said, in these times, this year right here, I said it before. If you look back at the old videos, y'all, I said it before. This time right here will show you who's really what. This year right here, 2020, will pull the truth out. In 2021, it's gonna show you even more. Trust me. But I'm here to each one teach one. I ain't here to each one knock one. I'm here to each one teach one, man, and pass the knowledge on. I don't care about having thousands of followers or subscribers. All I know is the 72 that I have. If you tell 72 of your friends, that's more people that got knowledge. Heck, that's more people that I can run into and have conversations with about some real live stuff. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is you can fact check me about the places I told you. You can go to GovTrack, GovTrack.us. You can go to ConstitutionAmerica.gov. You can go to YouTube, punch in Electoral College, and I'm telling you, if everybody watching TikTok and them videos, man, you gonna in 5 minutes. You can fact check what I'm telling you. It's gonna take you 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes tops. You'll get the whole understanding of Electoral College, man. And that's all I'm saying. I go around and I punched in Electoral College just to see how many of our people are even talking to our people about it. You know what I found? I found one guy, but he was working for another company speaking on their platform. He was speaking on someone else's platform talking about it. I never seen not one of the people that's supposed to be speaking for us speaking to us even on freaking YouTube about the freaking Electoral College. This is fact. I'm the only one now. Well, two. The other guy was speaking on somebody else's platform. So I'm the second person now. You know what I'm saying? But the people that are supposed to be speaking for us, but not speaking to us, they're not even speaking to us, reaching at us on the YouTube, talking about it because they don't know they self too well. And I said it. You know what I mean? And that's all I'm saying. I just got tired of seeing that, y'all. And I just felt like, hey, man, we have to really dig deep in that. This is more than what's on the surface. You just saying it look good because it's you say, oh, go vote. You just saying it because it's your civic duty, or you feel compelled to say that because, you know, whatever your backing you have, it's good PR to do that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you not really explaining to the people. Anybody can go say vote, 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 but explain this thing, how this thing really work, and it's simple as 1, 2, 3. So that's it for me, folks. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, make sure y'all paying attention to this one for North Carolina, of course, but make sure y'all every state has one. Make sure y'all paying attention to it. Go through that, man. You have things as the commissioner for insurance. That person there helps to keep your premiums down for health and your vehicle insurance. I mean, this is on your local levels. You know, you got your attorney generals. You got your if you care about the agriculture, you got the commissioner of agriculture, the commissioner of labor. You know what I'm saying? And make sure the labor laws are in place and making sure the people are being intact and that, you know, being protected in those manners. Look up those people. Make sure they're, you know, up to par. You know what I mean? And they're going to represent you as an employee of that state, right? You know what I mean? They're going to have laws that's going to help you as well. You know what I mean? To protect the employee as well. You know what I'm saying? As the employer. So make sure you're looking at those things too, man. So it's bigger play than just the president. Yes, you want a president that's going to uphold, that's going to represent the country, keep peace across the borders, be democratic, be diplomatic. Like he, you know what I'm saying? Like he you know, not out here spewing hatred and disrespecting the people. That is out of line. You know what I'm saying? And we have to remember that we elect these people. We are supposed to elect these people. We cannot continue to keep letting these people get in these seats without explaining themselves. We elect these people. They work for the people. They are public servants. That's where they are. We don't work for them. But if you listen to most of them, it's like they work like we work for them. No, the same way they get out here on these campaigns and campaign for us to get to the polls for them, they need to show and prove. They need to move on it. And when I'm talking the Senate and everything, they need to move. They need to move them pencils, them pens for the right and for the good of the people. You know what I mean? They need to listen to the people. They need to get out in the public more and not sit up there in the Senate in Washington and just looking down on the people who put them where they at. Some of them skated in there because people not paying attention. So that's what it is, man. And I also failed to say something. I'm gonna say real quick. Even to the mayor of Greensboro, I'm gonna just leave it like this. Greensboro, North Carolina, Nancy Vaughn, what's up with you? You slid by. You've been sliding by this whole. I forgot to talk about you last time. I didn't put you in the last week when I was talking about the local government of North Carolina, but I'm putting you in today, Nancy Vaughn. You've been sliding by. You've been real quiet during this whole pandemic. Where you at? Where you at? You ain't said nothing to the people. Since this whole COVID, you haven't said a nice word or anything or nothing to the people. Meanwhile, you got businesses downtown Greensboro that's about to go under through this whole pandemic. That little money that y'all gave them ain't helped them. It only helped them keep their doors open and keep their lights on. They couldn't re-up and buy no inventory with that. So now they trying to figure it out and hoping that a stimulus come through, because a lot of them businesses going to be shut down. And y'all was only saying to me, y'all was only concerned about the businesses downtown and not the other small businesses outside on the city. I paid attention to that, Nancy. You know what I'm saying? But where you at? Where you at, Nancy? Why you not speaking to the people? You know what I'm saying? But like I said, y'all, this is the time right here where you really get to see people running and tucking their high in their tail. And the commissioners too, man. The Guilford County Commissioners, see y'all too. Y'all just now wanted to give out masks and freaking hand sanitizer or whatever 7 months later. And y'all want to do it for a photo op. Y'all want to give out that? Why y'all ain't giving out no raises to the county workers and stuff like that, man? The front liners, they've been out there. Why y'all not trying to put nothing in play for that? You too, Mayor. Why you not saying nothing about that? The people that's been steady working and putting the quote unquote essential workers that steady kept the city, kept people fed too. You know what I'm saying? Kept people able to go into the grocery store. Kept people able to go to these restaurant drive-thrus. Kept people able to come to some of them county buildings, you know what I'm saying, and get their work, get their issues handled. You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't talking about that, commissioners? Why you ain't talking about that, Mayor? Nancy Vaughn of Greensboro, North Carolina. On your bumper. We know where you going to be at next election season. But yeah, man, that's it, man. Like I said, we can no longer let these people speak for us but not to us. That's it. And they can no longer be handing out. If you're going to speak for us, then give up some real info. Get some real knowledge. If you ain't got no real knowledge, start trying to speak to the people and still speaking that old language. You know what I mean? Vote, vote, vote. When you got people that don't want to vote and don't believe in voting for real reasons from what I just said, because they don't know certain things or didn't see certain things happening and wasn't understanding the divisions and understanding that there's three levels of government is the executive, the legislation, and the judicial system. That's why you see all of this stuff happening with the police, because the judicial system of that state, they signed into some whack laws. But you got to get those judges out of there. Put the right senators and pay attention to the right senators of your state. That's where it goes. The senators control the money and they pass bills and the judicial system signs off on them, folks. The president just did a veto. Say veto it or say yay. You know what I'm saying? Nay or yay. You know what I mean? Or the president has control, but he don't have control over the things that you see, right? The things that when it's talking about money and talking about funding for your city and state, like the senators control that. The judges control the laws and stuff, govern for this country and the states, man. Pay attention to that, man. Pay attention to that, man. President is really just the face, but we need a face and we need a person that's really going to speak and speak with some sense in these times and not causing division between people and keeping tension going and things of that nature and thinking it's a joke. And meanwhile telling people he's going to escape to Russia. No, you ain't, because you forgot about Iran. They had a warrant for you. It was on CNN back in the summertime, so it ain't fake. When Qasim, when they did that airstrike in Iran on that general, they're gonna get. They said they had a warrant for you, buddy. That's all I'm saying. But yo, this is your boy Rashone. This is Space Invaders TV. I thank y'all for rocking with me today. This is October the 22nd, 2020. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Like I said, man, I'm going to put the links down there again for y'all to go look up the stuff I'm talking about. Fact check me, man. You know what I mean? I don't try to bring anything to y'all. When, like I said, I write out everything that I want to say to y'all. You feel me? I write it out. I don't try to bring anything to y'all. You know, I try to bring as much facts as I can to the table. And if I can't, I ain't speaking about it. Yo, I'm out. Next week, I'll be talking about the SARS going on in Nigeria. And I'll talk about it's been a confusion with that too, because they've been linking SARS with COVID too. Like, you know, SARS for Nigeria is a special anti-robbery squad. And they're just running amok and causing mayhem on the citizens. So we're going to speak about that. I'm gaining all the information. I'm listening to the brothers and sisters down there, watching their blogs and reading up on this stuff before I actually bring it to my people. You know what I'm saying? And speak about it and let everyone know where they can donate to the causes. I'm hearing they're taking food and then they're taking money for the protesters, you know. So the same way our protesters are getting things donated to them for the causes that we're fighting here on American soil, the same thing the brothers and sisters down in Nigeria are doing. Peace and blessings to them and SARS. And I will do my part by speaking about it and enlighten the people on the American soil as well about it. So peace and blessings, man. Peace and blessings to everybody around the country, man. Everybody around this nation. Everybody around this world. Peace and blessings to y'all in SARS. I'll be talking about it on next week's show. Thanks again. This is Space Invaders TV. You heard? I'm out.